Hey guys, Stitching May here to do an update video. I'm back within my 2-week time frame, my goal, which I'm really excited about. Not gonna lie to you, this is my second time recording this video. The first one between my Flosstube itchy nose, feeling like I was talking like those micro machine commercials from the 80s and 90s and knocking stuff down. I decided to re-record it. So here I am. I'm going to try to talk in a setting land speed record rate and just relax. So anyway, like I said, I am back within my 2-week time frame or deadline that I give myself. I at one point was doing a video every week. I just didn't have enough stuff to show you guys. So I decided instead to do every 2 weeks, and then life was happening and I wasn't even getting in that often. Life, I'm not going to curse ourselves, so I'm not going to say is getting better, but it's evening out. Maybe I'm just getting used to the chaos, who knows. But I do have some updates to show you. I have no new starts, which makes me really, really happy because that was my goal, was no new starts in January, and I met that goal. I did have the one finish in January. And my goal is no new starts for February. By the way, if you're new to my channel, this is a channel about cross stitch, and sometimes I throw some life in there. If you're coming back to my channel, thank you and welcome back. So let's just continue to jump right in. So my January numbers, like I was saying, is I did no new starts, and I had the one Among Us finish. I worked on 5 different projects. I'm gonna try to keep up with my numbers this year, guys. I stitched on Among Us, Village at Hawkrun Hollow, Starry Night, Seeking Refuge, and Dragonfly Fairy for a total of 2,097 stitches. I had 26 days that I cross-stitched at least 5 stitches in, and only 5 days that I had no stitching in at all. The funny thing is right after my last video, I commented on me only having so many 0 stitch days, and then like I had 3 in a row. In fact, I had none that day. 1, 2, 3, 4 days in a row I had no stitching whatsoever. One of those days though was spent rearranging my craft room. I had cooked dinner, and then my husband came in, and I want to say that he spilt my wax warmer. And when he went to clean up the wax, he started moving stuff, and there was so much space for catch all areas, that he's like, we need to do something. This needs to be less kind of, we put the furniture here, more organized. So he started moving my furniture. Like, he had everything off my shelves, patterns. Oh God, it's making me so nervous. But it turned out better, and I love my setup. It took all night. We got it all set up. I'll try to insert some pictures. I don't have any of the before pictures because the room was messy and I didn't want to take pictures of it. But I do have pictures of the after, and I'll insert those. So I ended up working on that and that night. So let's just jump into the cross stitch, because I can tell you in order what projects I worked on and how many stitches I've worked on it. So the first piece I picked up was Pilgrims of Plymouth. I picked this up for a prompt in Magical Stitches. It was to stitch on something with a beach scene. Guess what? This has a beach scene. See, my little ship is out in the middle of the ocean. There's even a whale that's about to get, about to be a beached whale. And there they are standing on the beach. So this is what I worked on, and I stitched 303 stitches on this piece. I'll insert a picture of what it looked like before here. And here is where I currently am. This is stitched in the called for DNC on 20 count Ada in the color Vintage Country Mocha. This is a piece of scrap fabric I had left over from like the yard that I purchased to stitch Pandemic on. This is a sow that I started with StitchinButton or Vicky back in September. And then this is also a needle minder from her. It is a Pilgrim Mercenary. And this flower, guys, so these were easy. this one right here, there are more color changes in there than you realize. Like, it took me a surprisingly long time to stitch. Excuse me, I've got the hiccups to stitch that. I've got the hiccups. My tummy has not been being nice to me lately. I don't know what's going on. I had set up the video. My tummy started acting up. Almost didn't do the video, but knew if I didn't do the video that I wouldn't be able to until next week, because tomorrow I know for sure my sister's coming over and I have to get my second COVID shot. And then my son's friend is supposed to come over. He was supposed to come over today, but with me being sick to my stomach, just in case it's a stomach bug, I didn't want, to expose anybody to that. So we canceled. He didn't know he was supposed to come over, so he has no clue. He's not disappointed. And then next I stitched on Quaker Alice. I used this for the prompt. Now there were a lot of prompts. I did not get all of the homework done by any means, but I did finish 3 prompts. The next one I worked on was my Alice Quaker. This is what it will look like when it's finished. This is about RATM. Of course, this is what it looks like from the last time I stitched. I stitched 600 stitches on this. The first prompt was something with stockings, which Alice has stockings on. And then the second prompt was something with the blue on it. Bonus stitches if you actually stitched on the blue. I got the bonus stitches because I stitched on her blue dress. So so this is it all over. And the part that I specifically stitched on, I pulled down the beginning of this border of this motif. I've got this little red diamond. I stitched on her stockings and her blue dress. And guys, that's 600 stitches. So last week I stitched a total of 903 stitches. And if you remember, I said in January I only stitched 297 stitches, and I've already put in, 2,097 stitches. And already this month I've put in over 1,000 stitches. Because I stitched 303 on Pilgrims of Plymouth and 600 here, which is 903 stitches for that week. And I even, guys, had time to stitch on my break at work. Not only did I get a true break, I actually got to break out stitching at work for the first time, I want to say, since the pandemic started. So the next thing I worked on, last week we had a whole bunch of prompts and very little stitches, less number of stitches. This week we have less prompts but a higher number of stitches. I'm also doing Stitchnbutton and semi-seine, which is pushing my stitch goal up. I'm so mad because yesterday I stitched for a prompt in Stitchnbutton and completely forgot to post the beginning picture, so it didn't count at all. Wasted stitches, right? What are wasted stitches? But wasted stitches. This week, the first thing I stitched on was for the prompt. So the 3 prompts this week are something with a toilet or plumbing. Bonus if you stitch on an actual toilet. Something with a flag. And then something that you would be willing to, not willing, but something that you would sacrifice to the gods. So it's going to be something that you want, but you sacrifice it to the gods. Something you give up for the gods. Gods. Ancient mythical gods, for the record. Just throwing that out there. So this is what this will look like when it's finished. This is Saltbox Neighborhood, because these houses have plumbing and toilets in them. You just can't see them. I don't clean toilets, so I don't stitch toilets. I didn't have anything that had an actual toilet on it. So we're claiming that these houses have, I'm sure they have plumbing in them and they have toilets in them. This is where I was before. This is a Sal with Dana Bexton and Emily C. Guys, I'm already at almost where I was when the last video finished. That's how fast I was talking. And I still have haul and some gifts and to show you. So I was speed talking, micro machining it. This is where I currently am now. As you can see, I finished out the house. did the walkway and some of the grass, and if I get close enough, you can see that I even stitched on this house, the fence, and then the tree, the willow tree. Not the canopy of the tree, not the stump of the tree. I still don't know what that word is. Couldn't remember it last video. Last time I recorded this one, I can't remember it now. But guys, this is on a piece of fabric from LJ Fabrics. Love his fabrics. I think this is like a second because it did have a dye spot in it. Right here on the edge. Like it was the perfect piece for this. And then now I've been able to cut off the bottom piece and I have another piece. So that worked perfect. And it's stitched for in the called for DMC. It did call for a Weeks Dye Work Deep Sea, but I did not use that one. I used, it had an alternative, which was DMC 930. So that is it for progress. One thing I am doing because of Magical Stitches is reading more. So we're reading the Percy Jackson series, and I decided, so when we did Harry Potter, I listened to the audiobooks. This time I decided, I don't know why I'm so red right there, I itch. This time I decided to actually read the books. So I ordered the first 5 books in the series, and my son and I are reading them each night. We read 1 chapter before bed. He begs me to read 2, so the deal is on the nights he doesn't have school, we'll read 2, because some of those chapters are kind of long, and I don't want to be reading to him till like 11 at night. And also, I picked up, this kind of goes into haul. This is the 3rd book in the series. I've already read the first 2. This is the Amanda Lee, an embroidery mystery. It is about a woman who owns a needlework shop in Tallulah Falls, Washington, near Seattle. And just mysteries that happen around her store. Guys, these are not life-altering, that type of book. These are completely easy to read, beach reads. In fact, I think I read almost half of this book in the last 24 hours because I've not felt well. I've been laying around because my stomach, and reading instead of stitching. Super cute. Love the characters. It has an Irish wolfhound in it, McKenna. Just a light, easy, quick read. A lot of fun. I purchased 4, so this is the 3rd in the series. I purchased this one and the next 3, so it'll put me at 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think there are 10 total in the series. Like I said, I'd already read the first 2 and most of this one from my library, but I had to return it and just hadn't picked it back up. I can't find the audiobooks. I'm sure they're out there, probably on Audible. I don't have Audible. But I got these for really cheap on eBay through Thrift Books. I think they have more. And also on the haul, which kind of throws me into plans, I got a new bag from Stitchinbutton. And this is a Hey Jude bag from the Beatles. And it says, "Don't make it bad, take a sad song and make it better," which I should know the quote of that. But for some reason when I read it, I have to think about it. And you do not want me to sing it to you, I promise. Promise you. When my son was tiny, I was singing to him one time at nap time. He raised up, took his pacifier out of his mouth, stuck it in my mouth, laid back down and fell asleep. That's how bad my singing is. My husband and now Connor have all the musical talent in our family. I could play the flute when I was in high school, but But there that is. I love the turquoise fabric, and what sets it off even more is that it's in daisies. So, my mom and my aunt both adored the Beatles. My sister and I gave them a hard time, pretended like we didn't like them, just to be mean. So, Blackbird Designs has had the Magical Mystery Tour series, which included Blackbird, Eleanor Rigby, Yellow Submarine, Octopus's Garden, Strawberry Fields Forever, and The Long and Winding Road. And I have all 6 of those. My husband loves them, likes them. I'm stitching them and hanging them up for him in his music area. So because I'm stitching on now Yellow Submarine, which is my prompt for the second prompt, this has got a flag on it. There's a little fish that's carrying a flag. have no clue what I'm going to do for the third prompt, which is something that we would sacrifice. But right now I'm stitching on this one. Or I'm going to stitch on this one. I haven't started yet. I have to do 400 stitches on this, and then I'll move on to the sacrifice one. But with me doing all the beetles, I figured I had to have this bag. Plus, I mean, it's the beetles, and that's so special to me. And daisies, my mom's favorite flower. This bag had to be. I was like, that's got to be mine. And she also included this little needle fob with music notes and a Bernie sticker. But got that from StitchinButton. Like I said, I will stitch on my yellow submarine. I'll insert a picture where you can see the flag. You may not realize there's a flag there, but I promise there's a flag. And then that takes me to other haul. So I know this fabric gets some shade in our community, and it's not the best fabric in the world, but I have nothing against this fabric. I like this fabric. It's not my favorite, but you know, it works. I got this for almost a steal off eBay. Lady sold me 4 packs of the 32 count MCG textiles linen and oyster, and then 2 of the natural linens. My plan is to dye the oyster, and I will say the oyster is a lot softer than I mean, see, this one kind of stays stiff, but this one falls over. This one's a lot softer, I can tell. Anyway, I think I'm going to dye this just to see what I can do with it, have some fun. I figured it would be a good fabric that, if goodness forbid I don't like the way it turns out, it was an expensive fabric. I don't know that I can dye the natural. I mean, I guess I could dye a darker color, but I don't know that it would, I don't know with it not being bleached that it wouldn't take, that it would take the color okay. We'll see. I got that. And then kind of gift, oh wait, first of all, another haul. So you guys may know that I put felt between my Q-snap and my project to protect the stitches and to make the snaps tighter. I normally buy like a yard of the fleece. There is fuzz. At Joann's and cut that up. I found this at the Dollar Tree. Guys, it is super thin. I mean, I wouldn't make anything with it. I may back an ornament or something. It's super stretchy. It may not be any good, but I got it from Dollar Tree for a whole $1. Figured, hey, we'll try it. It was a 11.75 by 48 inch piece. Can't beat that for $1. We'll see how it works. And then from a friend, she used to make videos. She doesn't make videos anymore. I know she changed her name at one point. I can't remember her name on YouTube. I want to say Brown Eyed Girl. Anyway, she lives in Canada, and she messaged me because she wanted to order some needle minders for herself and asked if she could use my address because they won't ship to Canada. So she ordered herself some needle minders, sent them to me, and then I sent them along. She said, hey, when you get the package, open it up, because I ordered you a package as well. So there are these cute little needle minders from Hobby Lobby. This one says Stitching is a Lifestyle. This one says Floss, and this one says Floss Girl. So super cute, kind of from Hobby Lobby. And then, so that was a gift. Another gift is now this is where it got kind of chaotic in my last video. I knocked this down. Got this. Was adopted from Miss Connie. It is a stitched piece. Isn't it pretty? I thought it was so pretty. And I don't know any of the information about the pattern or anything, but it's very pretty. And I adopted 2 whips from her. This is her G Wiz 6. It's her design. Her designs are currently not available right now. They may become available again. Yes, this is G Wiz 6. It is stitched on 32 count blue spruce. because she left the tag in there. And it is stitched in Mo's Silks Corned Beef. She said she always had an issue getting it to show up in her videos, the colors. Let's see if I can get it to. With all my artificial lighting. Is that showing up? There we go. It's kind of a pinky orange color. Very pretty. And it's really pretty on this blue fabric. Can you guys hear the rain? It's been raining today here in Georgia. But I always do my videos at night, so it shouldn't affect my light too much anyway. My color is off. I think the white balance is back on my camera, and I don't really usually use that. There we go. It's kind of normal now. The next whip that I adopted from her is, there's the finished. I'm not going to try to put that back up because that will fall and it will be crazy. It is by Hands On Designs. It is called The Proverbial Home. It says, by wisdom a house is built, and through understanding it is established. Through knowledge its rooms are filled with rare and beautiful treasures. And it's a Quaker piece. Look. I'm shaking. She is stitching this, I believe, on I guess I should say I now. It's an adopted whip. 14 count Ada. She's doing 4 strands over 1. And they called for a DMC. And this is where she currently is. About halfway through. So she stitches opposite of me. Or I stitch opposite of everybody in the entire world. I stitch my stitches not the way the book says. I'm a rebel. My top stitch goes from, if I'm looking at it, it goes from this way. My bottom stitch goes this way. My bottom stitch is a back slash and my top stitch is a front slash. Right? Yeah. Hers is the opposite. Most of you guys stitch the opposite of me. I'm the weird one. So I'll either have to make myself painfully aware and stitch her way, or just turn it on its side and stitch. I'll probably turn it on its side and stitch. That's the same thing I'm doing with them when I adopted from Emily. And I think that is everything. Oh, no. One more thing. So I showed you last week a gift that I got from Belinda. It was a beautiful hand-painted dragonfly art piece. And I had it just kind of clipped to my needle. These were over here. And I had it kind of magneted to, I can't say the word, magneted to my needle minder and hanging down. And my husband saw it. He's like, no, we need to frame that. So he framed it. This was a frame that we had. I don't know where he got it from. It's a wooden kind of gray frame, as you can see, kind of distressed. And he put it in this frame. And it looks so pretty in this frame. And it's sitting up right now on my shelf, covering a hole in the wall. That was created by my very heavy cabinet. So it is proudly displayed and also covering a hole that he has to patch. It's just that where we had the cabinet bolted to the wall and now we took it out, but when we took it out it kind of pulled more of the sheetrock than we were expecting. It'll be okay. We'll get it fixed. Not only can he frame, he's also a very good handyman. He can patch holes, rewire dishwashers, install garbage disposals. Yeah, I'm a lucky girl. But there that is. Guys, okay, that's everything for this video. I added somehow like 11 minutes to the video. Guys, I was talking so fast. For a southerner, I was talking really fast. Anyway, hope to see you again in 2 weeks. Hopefully I will stick to my 2-week rotation. And, not rotation, but video rotation. And as always, guys, take care, happy stitching, and please stay healthy.